I say, YouTube. Good morning, good morning. You gotta finish the rest. I saw a video of in one of my group chats. Homeboy put in there. It was something about economic empowerment, and basically it was Shaq saying that he's not giving his kids no money. So the video was Shaq at an auction with his son Sharif when he was a little bit younger, and they were at an auction for various things, but I think watches were on display at the time, and Shaq ended up buying his son a $21,000 Rolex. Now Shaq is infamous, or he's known, he's on the record for saying, "We not rich, I'm rich." So that was an example of Shaq spoiling his kids, and it begs the bigger question, right? Before we get into the question, please like, comment, subscribe to the boy, join the royal family, and if it's your first time rocking with the boy, I be the KING SPR 33. That be me, King Spree, and you locked in one of the real estate. You hear me? Reporting live from Sin City, Las Vegas, Nevada. The weather's about, well, say 66 degrees outside, which is crazy because it's May going into June. 66 degrees outside, not a cloud in the sky. Praise to the Most High. And baby, you've been so patient waiting on this mixtape. You wondering why it's taking me so long. We just getting some things together. I got to get some copyrights cleared. I got to get some features cleared. I got to get the reference track. Baby, I got to get the sample cleared. But I promise that mixtape coming soon. And when they drop, you gonna love it. So, Shaq said, bro, we not rich, I'm rich. And here's what ends up happening. So, I made a video a couple weeks back. If I could figure it out, I'll link it in the description or whatever they be saying. I made a video a couple weeks back talking about our parents jealous of their kids, right? Especially black parents. Are they jealous of their kids? Are they jealous of the opportunities their kids have? Are they jealous of how quote unquote easy it is for their kids to operate nowadays, and having a lot of the things that the parents themselves didn't have, right? So back with Shaq saying we not rich, he's rich. And he said in another interview with the Earn Your Leisure boys, Troy and Rashad, he said that he's not giving his sons in particular, he's not giving them anything. Like, they have to earn everything they get. Now he'll help out, he'll invest in businesses, he'll do whatever, but they gotta approach him the way any other person would approach him for a business plan, for an investment, for a backer. And in the group chat, it was like, man, basically the energy was like, people see that, especially black parents, they see that and take it as like, oh, well, I'm not helping my kids out because Shaq said that, or somebody like Shaq said that. And then here's the problem on all sides. The problem with parents thinking that, parents saying to themselves and out loud to their kids, I'm not helping y'all because you need to earn everything you get. Yes, I understand that. You do want your children to understand the value of a dollar. You do want your children to be in a situation where they can fend for themselves, where they're creative, where they earn every opportunity they have, because it teaches a lot of skills that, to be honest, you can't learn with somebody handing you everything that you get. But that don't mean you should make them struggle. And that's where that's where the problem is with a lot of black parents in particular. They want their kids to struggle to teach a lesson, even if that struggling will be detrimental for their future. That you can't operate in such a way. There's one thing, let's say you're playing basketball, right? And I'm putting you through a workout. You my son, and we putting you through a little workout. And you breathing hard, the workout's hard, you're struggling. I'm teaching you how to persevere. I'm teaching you about discipline. That's one thing. We playing. I put you against the men and have you play against men. It teaches you that things ain't easy. That's one thing. But if I put you against those same guys and they beating you up, elbows to the side, pushing you out the air, potentially hurting you, your possibility of ever playing basketball again, that ain't teaching no lesson. That's outright putting your child in a situation where they're going to fail. It's detrimental to their possible success. Well, same thing in raising your kids when finances are involved. You should not pay all your kids' bills. You should not give them a weekly allowance and allow them to do whatever they want no matter what, and you still pay the bills. They should not look at you as a false support, a fail-safe if they fuck up. No. But you should put them in positions that will further help your kids. Because let's keep it a buck. In most black households, any household, but let's just say black for now, there is no retirement plan. If you ain't got a pension, it's a wrap. If you ain't got Social Security, it's a wrap. There ain't no real retirement plan. The retirement plan is the goddamn kids. Which is ironic because those parents are not doing anything to help those kids be successful. So the same kids that they're going to depend on to take care of them, they don't put in positions to succeed. That don't mean we paying all the bills. But here's one thing I'm not going to do. If you're going to school, and let's say you're going to school for something specific, no fucking art degree. You're going to school, and I see you working hard. You're working a job. You're going to school. You're trying to figure it out. I'm not making you pay no rent, bruh. What does that do? That ain't teaching no lesson. That's putting you in a worse situation. Now, it'd be one thing if you live in my house, and you drive up to my house with a better car than me. That's one thing. Then we got to start implementing some bills because clearly you got too much money and not understanding how this world thing really works. But if you're scraping by, and trust me when I tell you, I was scraping by. I'm not blaming my parents or my mom. I'm just talking. You're scraping by, trying to figure this whole thing out, riding a goddamn bike everywhere you go, which I did for years. I'm not charging you no rent on top of that. You can't even afford a car. I went a whole year without a cell phone. Just the fucking iPad that the school gave us to do projects on. They loaned us. What lesson am I teaching to put my kid through that? What lesson am I teaching? My kid barely, thank God he worked at a restaurant because my kid barely getting food. Not saying my mom didn't provide. She did the best she could, but I'm just saying in general, what lesson are we teaching when we put our kids through something like that? So yeah, Shaq is saying, I'm not giving you anything. He's probably saying, realistically, I'm not going to see you homeless, but you're going to have to learn how this thing works. You're going to have to figure this out. And I'll jump in where I need to, because I'm not going to see you literally homeless, but I'm not going to give you riches and fame because I'm rich and famous. No, you got to earn that on your own. Now, you'll have a house, you'll have the bare minimum it takes to be a functioning adult, but all the extra lavish stuff, you got to earn. That's not a problem. That's how we should teach our kids, in my opinion. You go to the Latin households, man, grandma will come out of retirement to make sure that the kids have a cell phone, have a car, the grandma will dip into her retirement. The mom will work until she's 80, 90, death to make sure the kid got a little bit better life than they had. When they say they doing it for their kids, they really are. They crossing that border. They crossing the water in some cases to make it happen. They coming over illegally to make it happen, and they really are trying to give their kids a better life than what they had. When they say that, they mean that. When they say that, they mean that. But in the black household, it seems like our parents are jealous of the opportunities we have, and to teach us a quote-unquote lesson, they want us to struggle. To make sure we understand, they want us to struggle. And that don't make no sense. That don't make no sense. Because it's going to put us in a bad situation. Like, there are people out there, like, they don't teach, like, we'll take my family, for example. You don't get taught about credit or how finances work. They just say, you need to do this. They don't help you do it. They don't tell you where to go to start doing it. You need to open a Roth IRA. What is that? What does that do? No explanation, just do it. You need to have, they didn't, no, let me scratch that. My mom didn't even mention credit. Because in a black household, they look at credit as you shouldn't even use it, not knowing that you can't even do nothing without credit. So here you are growing up thinking that you shouldn't even use things like credit cards because the credit cards are only for emergency. And then as you get older, you realize credit's the only thing that matters. And you just wasted literally 25, 30 years in some cases where you could have been building credit history and you have nothing to show. because your parents taught you, oh, credits is for emergencies only. So now you fucking doing $200 secure cards while your white counterparts, your Latin counterparts, got 30, 40, 50, 100 grand they have access to. They understand how money works. They understand. So when they go get an apartment, when they go get a house, they got a 750 credit score. The interest rates they getting on that joint is crazy. Is crazy. Meanwhile, we got to fucking hustle and bustle, and we got a fucking 580. And the interest rates we're getting are out the fucking roof. So now the car we pay for, the cell phone we pay for, the health insurance we pay for, the home we pay for, we're now shelling out $20,000 to $30,000 a year, sometimes more than our white counterparts. We're already making less than them, and now y'all taking that from us too. Same thing with student loans. You borrowing that money back at a high, you paying that money back at a high interest rate. So now we're in a situation where we are losing money on both ends. One, we're not getting paid the same as our white counterparts in a lot of situations. And then two, on top of that, they're taking the money because our credit scores, because we didn't learn about it, are so low. You go to apply for a cell phone when you're 17, 18 years old, you find out, oh, you don't even have credit. God forbid your mom and dad took care of the cell phone. Let's say you're on a mom and dad cell phone plan for a long time, till you're 30. You get off when you're 30. So around 30, you want to start doing everything that requires credit. Get an apartment, get a home. You got kids, you got things going on, a car. You come to find out you ain't got no credit. What do you mean I don't got credit? I've never done anything to put me in a bad situation. Yeah, exactly. You ain't got credit. But little did we know that our parents were teaching us a game that don't even make sense. Some of it they don't know. But to be honest, some of it too is they just don't want to teach you because they feel like you got to figure it out. It's the definition of crab in a barrel. You got to figure it out. If you figure it out, they're proud of you, but they're not going to help you along the way. And that's why so many of us in our community are behind the 8 ball. We're not having these conversations about money. Some of it's because our parents are embarrassed that they're not making a lot of money. Some of it's one of those situations where they say, oh, because they didn't know about it, them trying to figure it out at this stage in their life proves that they didn't know about it. So it almost like proves they were wrong. So they don't want to go through the diligence it takes to learn about what they didn't know about. It just puts us in a bad situation overall, right? Me, myself, at 35, I just started wanting to get into finances, just starting to get into learning about this at 34, like last October, literally, 2021. And even just recently, I follow the Earn Your Leisure boys, follow them on Instagram and follow them on YouTube, Earn Your Leisure. I follow those boys religiously, and it ain't about me listening to what one person says or two people. I don't get caught up on the brand name and following people because they have a name. It's more about the information. If the information is accurate, if the information is checking off, then not only do I listen, I look to implement, because they're not teaching you this shit in school. They don't teach you about credit, how to get a home. They don't teach you about how to manage your finances. They don't teach you about debt to income ratios. They don't teach you about how to amass wealth, how to start a business, none of that. And the few classes that they do offer about this, it ain't part of like what you need to graduate. It's an elective. So you gotta know to know. You gotta know to know. You gotta know about it to even take it. So it just puts us in a bad situation. A little bit of a rant, but it's a real rant. Hopefully y'all can relate. It's like, so how do we fix it, right? So somebody's probably saying, all right, you talk a lot of shit, but how do you fix it? There is no quick way to fix it. Now, how you fix the wealth gap in the community is a thing you got to keep on building. But how you fix the wealth gap individually, for black people, usually it's if you have a overwhelming talent or skill, then you can essentially leverage that for a lot of money, and then from that point on, you can hire people that can help you with the wealth situation. Well, that's also how I feel like Mike Tyson lose all their money. So how do you do it otherwise than that? Well, there's no quick way to do it. If you don't have a skill that's going to leverage money, if you don't have these things that are going to put you in those situations, you got to learn. You gotta learn. You gotta read. You gotta listen. You gotta talk. You gotta have conversations. I hit my homeboy up yesterday, and I'm like, yo, listen, it's somebody that put me on the crypto, and I was like, yo, I got the ledger. I don't know if you use this ledger, but based on the research, here go the ledger. Here's what you're supposed to use. I don't know if you use that one or not. And then he told me, I mean, I know you're being funny. He told me, you know, I'm not new to this, and I'm thinking like, see, this is the problem. We're not in competition. We're not in competition. You helped me out by letting me know about this. I didn't even know about it, and you had knew about it for years. Your friends should know how you're moving. You ain't gotta hold their hand. I'm not saying, yo, hold my hand through the process, but drop the tidbit. Hey, by the way, I don't know if you know about this, but this is what we are. Hey, for the record, this is what we're doing. But we always want to move in silence. They say real G's move in silence, like lasagna, and I'm like, well, yeah, that's a cool lyric, but the reality is it hurts the community. It hurts your friends. It hurts your family. Yeah, move in silence and do what you got to do, but we go much further together than we will apart. If we could get our resources together, I'm not competing against my friends. I'm really not. I don't care to be better than somebody at something when it comes to my peers, my friends. Do I want to be respected and seen as somebody that's like a top-notch dude? Of course, we all do. Do I want to earn it? Hell yeah. But when it comes against my friends, I don't care. I don't make a lot of money, so somebody told me they make more money than me doesn't hurt me. I'm not. It's fine. I know I don't make a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? I know back when I was single and I was getting girls, I mean, I got a lot of girls, but if somebody had the conversation about getting girls, like, all right, well, I guess you get more girls. I don't care because I like what I do. And they were not getting more girls than me, for the record, but you let them, okay, you got it, kid, you get more girls than me. You the man. What Will Smith dad said? You the man. You a better man than me. You know what I'm saying? So we're not in competition, but back to the story of Shaq saying he's not giving his kids nothing. I understand where they're coming from, but that's Shaq. Shaq's going to take care of his kids to a certain extent. Don't take that same information and think that as a parent or even as a friend, you shouldn't help anybody ever with anything. Especially people that you call your friends and your family. That don't make sense. It's going to put them behind the 8 ball. It's going to put them behind the 8 ball. Anyway, please like the video. I know it's a rather long video, kind of ranty. Camera quality is real shaky. I'm doing it on my phone in the car, but whatever. Like the video, subscribe to the family, please. Join the royal family. Leave a comment below. Do y'all think that we're being hurt because our parents are looking at us like you gotta earn it on your own, you gotta learn it on your own, or do y'all think that's the way it's supposed to go? Y'all give me some feedback in the comment section. Please like the video, share the content if you want to share it and you think somebody will benefit from it. This has been a message brought to you by the good people over here at Spree ENT. It's gonna all make sense real soon.